Good morning, John Glenn. Today is Friday, May 5th, 2023. I'm Major. This is the view from the Falcon's Nest. A special Falcon shout out to staff members celebrating birthdays in the next week. That list includes Miss Carr, Miss Hostetler, Miss Mortensen, Miss Laskowski. Falcon students celebrating birthdays are Alyssa Buss, Macy Douglas, Evan Geese, Kayla McLean, Carly Miakdosh, and Hannah Thomas. At multiple points in the last decade, it seemed doubtful the ethanol plant on the southwest side of South Bend would ever operate again. The plant was shuttered in 2012 and lay dormant for 2 years before being saved from the scrap heap. Now the plant is poised to see an unprecedented level of investment after a German energy company announced this week it has bought the site. Verbio's North American branch said it plans to spend 230 million over the coming years on upgrades to the plant so that if it can produce both ethanol and natural gas. In a release, Verbio executives said they are excited about the venture and chose the site because it offers a competitive location as well as existing infrastructure and meets our requirements for access to the natural gas grid, electricity, feedstock sources, and water supply. Verbio intends to retain all 61 employees currently working at the factory and plans to add 8 new jobs by 2025 over the coming months. Verbio said it will take to integrate the production of ethanol with the production of natural gas. In today's edition of our weekly Health Minute, May is National Mental Awareness Month. WNIT in South Bend reports that a major focus on suicide prevention and mental health entered the national spotlight last year with rapper Logic's moving song titled 1-800-273-8255, the number to the suicide prevention hotline. He, Alyssa Cara, and Khalid gave an emotional performance of the song at the 2018 Grammy Awards. During the performance, he was surrounded by suicide survivors, and the hotline number was displayed across his sweatshirt and on his stage. In the first 2 hours after the program, calls to the suicide prevention hotline were tripled to the normal amount. Suicide and teen mental health impacting youth is alarming numbers, and suicide is the second leading cause of death among 10 to 25-year-olds. According to the data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 1 in 6 adolescents reported having suicidal thoughts in 2017. More teenagers and young adults die from suicide, and more die from suicide than cancer, heart disease, AIDS, birth defects, strokes, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease combined. Wow, just let that sit for a second. This information was provided by a national student journalism program, the PBS New Hour Student Reporting Labs. If you or someone you know is thinking about attempting suicide, be in touch with 1-800-273-8255. An easy way to remember it is 800-273-TALK. You can also text anonymously to 741-741, and a counselor will come to your aid whether or not you're in a current crisis. Among the new programs aimed at reducing teen suicide is one called Sources of Strength, which is a peer support group. Peer leaders offer someone for people to listen to, be someone who's just there for them. Peer leaders are trained to notice when certain people are acting different, acting sad, anxious. That awareness allows us to approach them and be like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" They also make presentations to classes about dealing with anxiety, stress, and how to alleviate stress. The mission of Sources of Strength is to break the stigma of talking about mental health and dealing with it. And that's today's Health Minute. Now to weather with Caleb.
So the weather today, it's going to be mostly sunny with a temperature of 75, but the wind is really fast, so it's really going to feel like 52 degrees. The wind is going to be going south-southeast at 12 miles per hour. Now moving into the 3-day forecast. Saturday, it's going to be a high of 73, sunny, but somewhat cloudy, with a low of 59. Sunday, it's going to be a high of 82, sunny, cloudy again, with a low of 60. Monday, it's just going to be cloudy, with a high of 76 and a low of 56. Now to the main desk for sports.
Good morning, Falcons. South Bend, Washington has hired a former football coach as its new coach. Jay Johnson, a former Notre Dame wide receiver, has been hired according to WNDU. He was the head coach at Washington for 7 seasons from 2012 to 2018. He went 24-50 in that span, which was highlighted by an 8-3 season in 2015. After leaving Washington, Johnson spent time as an assistant at Marion High School and Oberlin College. John Glenn has received votes in the Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association poll. The poll, which only rates 10 teams, had defending state champion Gary Andrean number 1, followed by Western, Gearin Catholic, Jasper, West Vigo, Hanover Central, New Prairie, Crawfordsville, Charlestown, and Mishawaka Marion. Penn received votes in 4A, and South Central received votes in 3A. Now to lunch with Caleb.
So for lunch today, it's going to be a ham and cheese sandwich, corn dog, baked beans, and steamed broccoli. That's all we have for today, Falcons. Remember, you ain't somebody until somebody loves you, and that someone is me. I love you. Have a great day.